All right, all right, all right. That's right. Went and saw the new Matthew McConaughey movie called The Gentleman. Um, Stars Matthew McConaughey. The other actors that are in this film, well, first is Michelle Dockery, which haven't seen her like really in anything outside of Downton Abbey, and with that ending, it's cool to see, um, her starting to star in these cool films. So she's in it. We got Hugh Grant, Charlie Hunnam, Colin Farrell, which let me just tell you right now, he is by far the coolest character in this film. He's a supporting character, but thank goodness he is in this film. I loved everything about his character. So, if you're a Colin Farrell fan, get ready, because to me, he steals the show. I wish he was in it a little bit more, just because he was so incredible. But maybe that's why he was so incredible, is because he was in it just enough. I don't know, but Guy Ritchie is the one who did this film. And so he wrote and directed it, and he's mostly known, he started off with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, then he did Snatch, and these just became like these classic movies. And then most recently, a lot of people know him for, well, I guess it's not really recent, but his more updated films are the Sherlock Holmes that starred Robert Downey Jr. Now, here we are. Well, and then last year, actually, let's throw that out there. Last year, he did Aladdin, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was different, but I actually enjoyed it. So, if you didn't, I'm sorry. Your wish didn't come true. So, anyways, let's get back on topic. The Gentleman, which is just under 2 hours. And I'm going to start by saying this. There's kind of an after credit scene. And it's it's a music video. That's all I'm going to really say about that. So it's not something that's really going to like make or break anything. They just throw in this extra music video. It might sound random by me saying that. Like, wait, this movie has a music video. It will make sense when you see the film that on why they throw this in there at the very end. So when the credits come and they start to scroll, stick around a little bit because you will see a music video, and it's fun. It's worth staying for. It's not something that's, it was just something fun that Guy Ritchie threw in there for you during the credits. So I do encourage you to stick around for that. So I know I talked about the end credit scene, but let's just talk about this movie for a second. Because this movie I liked it. Let's just say that. I really did like it. What I didn't like is just how much dialogue there was. I mean, this movie is, it's kind of put in this action crime category with some comedy, but they should just said dialogue movie that has maybe some of the action and crime. I mean, there's so much talking in this movie that it actually takes a while to get going. And but once you get past that, once you kind of understand, why they have to do so much dialogue and stuff, like, it kind of makes sense. I do think they could have cut it down. I think they felt like they needed to explain way too much and didn't give the viewer enough credit to start figuring stuff out. But there's a lot of dialogue, so get ready for that. Outside of that, there's a lot of it's rated R, so there's some violence. There's the whole movie bases around a marijuana business, so obviously there's a lot of drugs and drug references in this movie. And there's one incident where there's a sexual scene. You don't see any nudity or anything like that, but there's one scene. The biggest thing, though, for this film is the language. Now, language is very hit and miss with a lot of people. For me, though, this film like you get a lot of movies when they decide to do some language. Typically, they choose a curse word that they kind of want to emphasize, quite a bit. This film did the exact same thing. Now, you'd be like, oh, okay, I can deal with that, and that's fine. This movie, though, decided to choose the C word. Now, I'm just going to leave it there because, I don't know who's watching this or whatever. But I will say, I heard this word in this film more than I've ever heard this word in my entire life. And that includes other movies that I've seen. So, so definitely know this movie is rated R just for language itself, in my opinion. I thought it was excessive, and I don't know. I just don't really feel like all that kind of is needed, in my opinion. I mean, there's easier ways to insult people without having to say that. And after you hear it so many times, it's just like, is it even offensive anymore? Like, how many times can you call this person that and, before they're like, oh, that's original. So, yep, there's that. Get off that topic. But those are kind of my big things with this film. I definitely enjoyed it, though. I give this movie easily a 4 out of 5. It's not really what I was expecting, but it was still cool nonetheless, and so that's why I really enjoyed it. But I do think Colin Farrell steals the show. I do want to end this, though, kind of with this really cool Easter egg. I personally don't think this is a spoiler, but I do want to give you a little bit of forewarning. I guess potentially this is a spoiler because I want to talk about a cameo. And so if you haven't seen it and are afraid of this, just stop watching right now. I want to give everybody forewarnings on all these kind of stuffs, but I am going to talk about a cameo. Not going to really talk about the scene at all, but just let you know. And here we go. Here's the cool little Easter egg cameo is Guy Ritchie stars in the film himself. Now, it's only one scene, and I don't want to create the preference of it and that kind of stuff, but he's in it. And if you don't know who Guy Ritchie is, I do think the way they executed this scene, you could figure out who he is in the film. And here's my only tips for you if you don't know who Guy Ritchie is. He wrote and directed this film. Just keep that in mind when you're watching this film, and maybe something comes up or whatever, and we're like, oh, was that Guy Ritchie? It probably was Guy Ritchie. Now, before we finish this, another cool little Easter egg to be aware of is in this room that he's in. Be looking in the background because you're going to see a poster of another film. There's a film that I purposely left out from Guy Ritchie's many credits. There's a movie called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. that stars Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer. And I really enjoyed that movie. I'm a huge Henry Cavill fan anyways. And in this room, they have the Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie poster. And so those are just really cool little Easter eggs that they throw in this film that I appreciated. It was fun to just be like, hey. So definitely enjoyed that. And yeah, that's my movie review on The Gentleman. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know, if you liked it. Did you catch the Easter eggs? Did you see some other ones? And like always, be sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you're up to date with future movie reviews. Thank you guys. Until next time. All right.